Alright, so a lot of people have been asking for a guide for Necropolis specifically with Wong. So this video hopefully, helps for like the planning and like what fights he can take, what fights he cannot take, his sig ability, all of that stuff. So essentially the fights that he cannot take, or that I didn't use at least, like I'm not sure if he can do or he can fully solo. Um, I probably took with Aegon, Nick, Shuri, and they're not included in the video. Before every path, I'm gonna put like a little list of what champions he took and what he didn't take. So hopefully it helps. I'm gonna put some timestamps in the description because it's gonna be a little bit longer than usual videos. But yeah. Also, he really doesn't need his sig for anything. The only path that it matters for is the Apocalypse trap node, like for that path. But even without, it doesn't matter. It's not like anything crazy. It's helpful, but you don't need the dupe at all. So the trap node is that every time you parry, you get a 25% tranquilize on you, which doesn't really affect Wong too much unless you really like want to rely on parry heavy, then yes. But if not, it's not really a big deal. I didn't notice it as much. For Titania, if you have a Kate or Aegon, like you want to ramp Aegon, I would recommend use them because it's a real like even with a rank 3 it took like 11 minutes on boosted because she's very tanky. She puts the weaknesses on you. Her specials are long. You want to waste time sometimes when she gets the indestructible. And it's just a lot of debuffs going in and out. It's class disadvantage. It's just annoying, honestly. But it's doable. It's soloable. It's easy once you get to the rhythm, but you can easily lose your spells at like when she has 10% health. It can ruin the entire fight for like one little split second when she decides to not throw specials. Arcus, the only thing here special is that you might want to go for special threes sometimes because he does have the power gains and they can get out of control and but Wong can't control power. So the only thing you can do is like when he's getting really stingy with specials, you can go for special 3. But the thing to remember is that when you parry and you have a tranquilize on you, you have 25% less chance to apply debuffs basically. So since Arcus has a shrug, people usually would go, oh, like I'll parry and then I'll go special 3, so then my Fate Seal sticks. But if you do that, then there's a 25% chance the Fate Seal won't even like trigger to begin with. If he shrugs it, it still takes away the power gains right before it gets shrugged, so you won't get the Fate Seal, but you will get rid of the power gains. So it'll give you some time for him to build up, and then you can go for another special 3. And then for a Mega Sentinel, I never read her nodes. Just throw special 1s until you're ramped, spam SP2. The auto block isn't that long. The stun from it is like barely like a second, so you don't like it barely triggers. Sometimes you can even parry right after she won't even hit you. And if she does and she puts an incinerate on you, Wong's gonna heal it back because it's energy damage. So I'd recommend start in green on that fight. Airwalker, basically just block SP1, SP2. Don't let him put Dark Tides on you because if he decks the specials, he will. And if you get enough, you'll get a passive Dark Tide. And then every armor break on you is going to do like a lot of damage. It's energy, he's going to heal, but not nearly enough as you would want him to. So just don't, block specials. They're energy, he's going to heal up. You also have to knock him down every 15 seconds or he gets a Galactus buff, which basically gives him regen and unstoppable. But Wong knocks down a lot. And if he doesn't, you have an unstoppable heavy, you can just knock down whenever you want. For Captain Britain, the inverse control is really annoying. Basically, every time she throws a special, she's gonna purify all the debuffs on you. And if she does, then the special is gonna be inverted. Like she's gonna put inverted controls on you for the duration of the special and for a little bit longer. So it gets really confusing when when you're not sure if you have the debuffs or not. And sometimes you dex and you think you had the inverted, sometimes you don't. It messes you up. Block the special 1. It's energy damage. It's gonna heal it back. If you eat it to the face, you're probably gonna die if it crits because prowess. But other than that, even just normal combos, they're all energy. You'll be fine. Wiccan. The only thing here is really just start in green, and if you want to parry freely, you get incinerated, you're fine. Specials into the face, you're fine. I have video in my guide. Just don't base SP1s. At least Like you can bait it before, but once you're fully ramped, just stop baiting special ones because he heals 100% of all the energy damage you deal, which is like 90% of your damage. So, once he gets to like 20%, he can heal like a good 30 to 40 from one special. So try not to bait it, hard block to like bait special twos. But other than that, it's pretty easy. For section 2, when you finish a combo with the same like combo ender as the last one, you get auto blocked. So if you do medium ending combo and then another medium ending combo, they're gonna auto block the last hit. Captain America. The trick here is that you wanna make sure you throw special ones when you're building up. That's the only annoying part. You want to throw special ones when he has one or two armor ups and not more, because he gains 10% chance to auto block per armor up to 75%. So if you throw a special one and he blocks, you're going to get ruptures on you because of the node. And if you get enough ruptures, then he's going to put a power drain on you, which is very annoying because Wong needs his power. So essentially what I was doing is if he has one or two armor ups, I would throw a special one. But if he has more, I would go for special 2 unblockable to get rid of him. Because even if he triggers auto block, but you're unblockable, it still gets rid of his armor ups, which is nice. So I go special 2 unblockable. I get rid of his armor ups because he tried to trigger auto block. And then I start going to a couple special ones to like before he builds up the armors again. But it is a pretty long ramp. But once you're done, there's not much to it. Dragon Man, really just parry if he has the power gain. If he has the stun immunity, bait specials, he's very, very special happy. There's nothing special about this fight. Just bait specials into block. You can't dex them, then just block it. It's Dragon Man. He doesn't hit that hard into block. But yeah, pretty basic fight. Special 2 spam after building, and that's pretty much it. For Captain America, I didn't think he can do it, but he did very good. Essentially, if he gets 5 kinetic charges, you're going to get a concussion on you. So every time he gets to like 4, stop hitting him, beta special. He's going to lose all of them, and then it's just rinse and repeat, same as every fight. The only thing here is that if you chain a special 1 with a combo, the spell might get glanced, but if you parry special 1, then it won't. That's just the thing with how like special chaining kind of works, I guess with glancing. And for Nova, there's not really like anything special. The only node with him is that if you're close to him for some time, he gets a charge, and if he gets 5 of those charges, he can burn all your power. It might like ruin the rotation if you need a special 2, but I don't think a single time out of the 3 paths I did, he ever got to 5, because Wong pushes him pretty far with his special. The only thing I say to look out for is that he takes minus 75% damage from unblockable hits, so try to throw your special 2 after the unstoppable, so it's not unblockable, and it does full damage. But other than that, it's pretty easy. It's a normal vanilla Nova. The trap node here is that whenever you hit them in the corner and with contact attacks, you're gonna take damage, but it's not that big of damage. Honestly, I didn't really think of that node at all when I was doing the path, because Wong's healing starts up pretty soon. If you're very aggressive, ramping in the corner, yes, you're gonna feel it, but the healing's pretty good, so it honestly wasn't that big of a deal. And then Airwalker, Captain Britain, Wiccan, basically the same notes as like Path 1. I wouldn't really add anything. The trap node is basically every time they dash in, they get an indestructible buff. Wong's Sig ability is that every time the opponent gets an indestructible buff, he insta-nullifies. He doesn't have to hit them, he doesn't have to get hit, he doesn't have to do anything. You don't even see the buff pop up on screen. For Apocalypse, he has a bunch of like, kind of like that node in AQ where like you have to do like 5 mediums or like 2 lights or 2 heavies, and once they're done, he gets like a prowess removed. I didn't even worry about the node, just pretended like it didn't exist. Block specials, it's really not that much. It's like energy damage, so you're gonna heal it. Apocalypse is pretty easy. If he stuns, like try not to get hit with the second light into block because he's gonna stun you. But even if he does, as long as he doesn't like somehow chain it into special and you don't have time to block, you'll be fine. For Tigra, basically, whenever she triggers her senses, she gets stuff. Whenever she has the orange one, like from the special one, when she has the orange sense, I forgot what the name was, but the orange one, every time she hits into your block, she inflicts a rupture debuff that does like barely any damage, but it does a burst of damage right after it gets inflicted. So that's the only annoying thing. And then her blue her blue mode thing. Yeah, your light attacks have a 50% chance to miss, so it's also kind of annoying. I wouldn't recommend baiting special twos the entire fight until you're fully built up. Because once I'm fully built, I can, like, I was just baiting special ones because one, I'm not throwing lights, so I'm just like heavy into SP2s. And two, even if she hits my block and puts a rupture on me, I'm just gonna heal everything back. It's fine. Hercules, Hercules is annoying because um, his node is like it gives him protection every time you finish a special attack, and the way to remove these protections is either intercepting him, uh, like interrupting his heavy with a hit that isn't a heavy. So like bait a heavy, hit him with a light or medium, or knock him down with your heavy with him not being stunned. Those are the three ways that you can remove the protection. Now, the annoying thing is that once he gets to like 70%, I think, then every time he throws a special, he also gets a protection. So you throw a special, he gets protection. He throws a special, he also gets protection. And it's like a 30% protection. It's pretty beefy. And then in the final phase at 40%, you can't do the same action twice to remove the protection. It's kind of like the Zerastes boss. So like if you intercept him and remove a protection, if you intercept him again, it's not going to remove one. You have to do one of the other actions, which is heavy when he's not stunned, or counter his heavy with a hit. So it gets really confusing, and when he has the 12 charges, you're going to take a lot of block damage. For Captain America, Falcon, Dragon Man, and Nova, they're pretty much the same thing as for the first path. So especially like, if Wong is duped, there's not much to it. So yeah. Soren's trap node, like for that section one, is basically every time you throw medium, there's a 50% chance that they're going to evade. For Sauron, in the solo I posted in the beginning of it, I went for special three. That was like the only rotation that kind of worked for him. I don't know why. I might have just gone lucky with that one run, but you know. Also, if you dex back in time, and then like dex back as he's dashing in, you can counter him with lights, so you don't have to worry about parrying. And when he's unblockable or throwing mediums, you can like dex back, and then once he dashes, like immediately just go for lights. And again, same thing for Airwalker, Captain Britain, Wiccan. Same thing as Paths 1 and 2. There's nothing extra. Like the node doesn't really play into it too much. As long as you play around it, you're fine. The trap node here is every time you throw a special, you can't dex, you can't trigger miss, or you can't evade. Well, and you can, like all three of them. You can't do any of them. Surfer wasn't bad because the special one is energy. You can just block it with Wong. It doesn't really matter too much. It's like try to bait special ones. If you bait special two and it's unblockable, you're probably gonna die. So bait special ones. Don't worry about the node too much. It was a really vanilla, easy fight, honestly. It's a cosmic fight with Wong. Like, you know. For Misty, I've heard really mixed reviews about that. People can't seem to bait her special one too much. I didn't bait a special two a single time. She was very special one happy. If it ends up being unblockable, it doesn't do too much damage. But I don't even know how she works. So I was just like hitting her and like throwing SP2s, I guess, and the fight was done. It was a really easy solo. I did it first time. Just bait special ones. If you can't dex, block. If you can't dex or block, just eat the hit. You're gonna survive. But yeah, Misty's very simple. For Cap, Dragon Man, Nova, and the other Cap, it's pretty much the same thing as Paths 1 and 2. It doesn't really change much. You'll probably get used to the node by the time you're there, but it doesn't change anything in like the rotation or anything. So for Path 4, the trap node is that basically every time you land a crit, you're going to get a stifle that reduces your combat power rate. And it also gives you a fatigue that reduces crit chance. So it's really not that big of a deal. Squirrel Girl was pretty annoying, but you can deal with her. It's not that bad. Just once she gets rooted, don't bait SP2s because the special into block is gonna bleed a lot and it's gonna do like a lot of damage. So just keep baiting SP1s, knock her down whenever the timer runs out and you start getting ruptures on yourself. Just knock her down. You can't parry heavy because she's gonna go unstoppable. So just use your specials or like heavy after her special to knock her down. But she's fairly simple as long as you bait SP1s. So for this trap node, essentially your combo just has to go up by 5 every time you hit the opponent. So it could be special attacks, it could be like basic attacks. As long as the combo goes up by 5, they won't go untouchable. For Strife, unfortunately, I didn't record. It was a solo, but I didn't record the whole thing because I didn't even expect to get it to get the solo. It was like 11 minutes with the rank 3, but it's a horrible fight. I don't know what I was doing. I was just baiting specials. I was dexing. I was throwing my specials. I like it was just untouchable all over the place, unstoppable, was getting stunned, all that stuff. But yeah, I wish I recorded, but I didn't because like up to the last 2 minutes, I wasn't really expecting to get it. So that's why I recorded like only the last little part because I thought maybe. But yeah, he's doable. He's really annoying, but he's doable. So for Galen, essentially just knock him down with a special every time he uses a special. Just control his harvest so it doesn't get to 100. Because if it does, it's just going to auto trigger and you're going to take a lot of damage. He won't die from it because it was bugged at first, but now like it's based on base attack. So you won't die, but it's still a lot of damage. The node puts a special lock on you if you're close to him. If you're far, he gets a special lock, but he's immune to it, and you're a mystic, so it won't give him any harvest charges, so it's fine. And then below 70%, if you hit his block, he's going to gain prowesses, which do count for his harvest, so just be careful of that. And, just bait specials, throw specials, make sure he doesn't go to 100, and that's pretty much it. Wong has a lot of power gain, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. The trap node here basically every time the opponent like crosses a bar of power, you gain a power detonation. If you don't throw a special in time, like before it expires, you take some damage. But Wong heals it back when he has the 3 green spells, so you don't have to worry about it. It's basically like he shuts down the node, so it's very easy. Red Goblin, super easy. Bait special 1, bait special 2. You can block the special 2. It's all energy. It doesn't matter. The nice thing is, like in this fight, is like when you're baiting special 1, and the time between like his little tentacle thing, and then by the time he throws the bomb, you can like charge a heavy in between the animation and get some power. So that's kind of nice, but you don't need to. And then Craven, I don't even know how to talk about advice for that fight. Just just eat the traps. Every time he throws a trap, go into it. It's because like I don't know. Honestly, I was just like I didn't know what was going on because sometimes you get like 2 traps on the map, and I don't know what was happening. I was just taking damage left and right. But be careful because when you get rooted, his first medium is unblockable. So if he runs into you, dex and then parry, so you can parry his light, or you're gonna get like bleeds and stuff. But for him, really, that's it. It's just because if he throws 3 traps and you don't get into any of them, you're gonna take 15% health, which is fine because Wong heals a lot. But just try to get into the traps. If you don't, it's fine. If you do, it's fine. Honestly, it's pretty vanilla if you try to not care enough. But if you care about like, oh, there's a trap here, there's not a trap there, then you're gonna be like really stressed and just jumping around and whatever. So there's better options, but Wong can solo. And then for the rest of the path, it's really just like Squirrel Girl that he takes. I didn't take anything else with him. And she's easier with this node than the Stifle one from Path 4. So it's honestly not that bad. Null, he can probably solo. I just didn't. I got tired. I was just A-gunning everything. But yeah, that's really it for Path 5. So for this trap node, essentially every time the opponent throws a special attack, your controls are reversed once it ends, like for a short amount of time. But it's kind of annoying. I didn't bring Wong for this path at all. I just brought Aegon, but he can do Odin, he can do Squirrel Girl, he can do Mantis. Anyone can do Mantis. And then he can also do Null. So yeah, that's pretty much it. He's very useful for 1 through 4, but 5 and 6 not so much. Like I didn't even bring him to 6. But if I end up getting any new footage or like any new solos or stuff, I'll just post them separately and like update in the description that there's also this and that. But I most likely won't be going in for a while because I'm burnt out and finals week and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I missed anything, just let me know. And I'll update if any new solos come out.